I don't know how to drive a standard. Baby Driver is directed by Edgar Wright and stars Ansel Elgort, Lily James, John Hamm, J.B. Fox, Isa Gonzalez, and Kevin Spacey. And it's about a young getaway driver. He's in debt to Kevin Spacey's character, who's a mob boss, and so he has to drive all of these different jobs for him. But he doesn't want to do it, but he kind of has to. And he gets to a point where he's on his last job, but he doesn't want to do it anymore, and then all kinds of crazy things start happening. And of course, he meets a girl, and she's delightful. So for those of you who don't know, Edgar Wright was supposed to direct Ant-Man, but then after creative differences, he left and started working on this. And what's really cool is all of the crew that he hired to work on Ant-Man who had to leave after he left, he all instantly rehired to work on Baby Driver. And I think that's a really cool thing that he did. Just shows that he's a stand-up guy and he cares about the people who's working for him to help bring his projects to life. All the trailers from this movie were great, so it had me really looking forward to the movie. The only thing is that I was a little bit worried that because it was so heavy on the soundtrack and all of the songs that it might feel a little bit too much like Guardians of the Galaxy. And that's not the case at all. This is a very stylish film, and it all feels very unique and very fresh, and I think that really adds to the watching experience as a whole, because it feels like you're watching that you haven't seen before, which is really hard to do. The humor in this movie is quite good. I found myself laughing throughout the whole movie, but at the same time, the movie is also more serious than I expected it to be, but in a good way. The movie has real stakes and emotion and drama, and that's something that I want out of a movie like this. I want to be able to care about the characters, so that when everything goes wrong at the end, I care about it. I want it to be impactful, and that's something that this movie does extremely well. All of the action and car chases are really cool too, and the car stunts are actually believable. They're not driving their cars on ice being chased by a submarine like some other movies. Everything feels real and it feels hard-hitting, and when things happen, they actually matter to the story, and they matter to the characters, and they matter to you as an audience member, because it's done so well. All the performances in this movie are great. Ansel Elgort is really good. His character doesn't have a lot of dialogue because he's more of a silent type of character, but he still conveys emotion and he does things that really make a lot of sense. Lily James is so charming that it's hard to not just love her. John Hamm, Jamie Foxx, and Isa Gonzalez are all really good in the parts that they play as well. And of course, Kevin Spacey is the quintessential villain. He's great in everything. He's probably one of my favorite actors of all time ever. So just having him in the movie alone makes me want to go see it. So I was going through my notes after I watched the movie and I was trying to think of some negatives about the film, but I couldn't really think of any. The only thing that came to mind is that Jon Bernthal is advertised as being in this movie, and he is, but barely. I like Jon Bernthal a lot, and I would have liked to see him have a little bit more screen time. But other than that, I thought the movie was really well made. I had a great time watching it, and I'm going to say that Baby Driver is Poddle approved. Thanks for checking out my review. You can comment below, let me know what you thought of the movie. Let me know what you thought of this review. You can give me a subscription if you haven't done so already. And if you have nothing else to do, go watch more movies.